Yeah. Very good, very good.
Tommy, you're a true marvel, you know that?
Whatever. That's fun.
Really fun.
Tommy,
Brady?
you got a long history.
I know, it's wild, yeah.
We've never done this before, though, right?
No, I don't think so. No, I never did one when y'all were in Norman or anything.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I'm getting over it still.
Well. When Kylan has it wrangle me in. Really not good. Yeah, what does that mean? Tommy, so hi everybody. This is a Coffee and Riffs episode. And today we're sitting down with Tommy McKenzie.
Hey,
Tommy
everybody.
McKenzie,
Hey.
tell us about yourself.
Well, yeah, I've known you for about...
No, not me, you.
Tell me about you. But I like relating it to other people,
okay.
though. I've known you for about over a decade, I think.
Yeah,
Over that, you have one of those gatekeepers.
That's before that. You were boom banging.
I was boom banging, yeah, because the gatekeeper's
When I
even
met
like
you.
written out to the boom bang, I think.
Oh yeah.
But,
well, yeah, probably Tommy Boom Bang.
Yeah. What was it? But yeah, I've kind of been playing since like 2008. Played in Unwed Sailor for a little bit. Played in Ester Drang still. Then I'm currently playing for the Flaming Lips, which is still pretty wild.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, all sorts of different. Even if all this crap, like, it's just a mix of, I feel like, sensibilities I've had from Bryce and then just other synthy kind of weirdness things.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just not thinking about it too much. For better or worse.
What is kind of your normal? Because I know you threw on the slicer and maybe the 44. But what's like your normal?
I mean, normally
approach?
just at home, I like going. The Synth-1's always like a good base of things. This is a good foundational sort of effect just for making loops. I mean, because otherwise in Lips world, I just kind of use just dry effects and just like limiters, compressors, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But then just with stuff on my own, I mean, it's just, anything I kind of take in and out at home is normally this sort of thing, just of like synthy stuff with just reverbs at the end, just to make a whole kind of a collection of foundational things and just like a wash of things at kind of the end. And then enough things that you don't really know how it will react at all. Because I think you just get more out of being surprised by things and fear, I believe.
Yeah.
You can't think about it too much. It doesn't make it fun.
Everything that kind of has its own real voice to it.
Exactly, yeah. Just this instant musical making. Your brain can kind of start making a song out of everything really, really quickly.
Doesn't have to be a guitar sound, but you throw other stuff in there.
Oh yeah, not in the least, no. But it's just because I have some old blood stuff at home, but this is just, I don't know. I've never messed with the Mood.
Yeah.
BL-44 is amazing. The slicer I just messed with this week, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I've just always tried to approach things of, the more you tend to think about it, the more it kind of ruins it. Of what you're trying to capture at all, I think.
Yeah, you lose the spontaneity of it.
Exactly, yeah. 'Cause that's even like the beauty of playing with, and this is like the closest thing to even playing with people is you're playing with people outside of your own taste, so then you automatically kind of combine something together and make a feel that you couldn't make individually. So if you have things that are just inherently kind of musical on your own that you can be surprised by, you kind of tap into that same sort of mode of thinking, I think.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's cool. What do you do when you're not doing that stuff?
Working at Old Blood Noise in Oklahoma City, OKC.
Oh, you're recently married.
Recently married, yeah. Hillary's amazing. Have that. Have 2 dogs at home.
What are the dogs' names?
Nico and Lou.
Who's your favorite out of the 2?
Man, it really depends. Like, because I feel like, because I'm a Gemini, so I feel like the dogs have this split thing that I kind of identify with. Nico, the girl dog, is more more boisterous, more quick to get attention from people in that way. Lou's a little bit more insular, kind of just stays on his own. But we have a big pecan tree in our backyards, and at this point has killed like 40 squirrels.
Nice.
So
I didn't see that, the pecan tree going that direction.
I know, yeah, no, will go out there and just looks at it pretty well all day.
I mean, it makes sense, but I thought you were going to say something about pecans.
No, all the squirrels that he's ended have eaten all the pecans. So
Fuck them, right?
I know, right? Yeah, happens.
How do you feel like? Can you put to words what like being a Gemini? How does that come? How does that translate into like tangible behavior?
I feel like that into tangible behavior, you feel very strongly about something for a little bit, or you're into something very particular for a little while, then all of a sudden you're very bored with it and then change. So I feel like it's just this example and a juxtaposition of just two different feelings that you're kind of going in between. Sometimes you're kind of in the middle of the two feelings a little bit more. Sometimes it's more, for me, like with this, it's like sometimes I like existing in a lot more kind of chaos in that way of what's surprising me, what's happening in this way, and then sometimes you just want more abject structure of knowing how something's going to present itself. So, and then it's just, I think ultimately it's, because as a person you want structure and consistency, but then some of it's just accepting that you're like, I kind of like living and you don't quite know what's going to happen exactly within like certain bounds, not like, within safety sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I would say that, so I have known you for a long time, and I feel like you are a very interesting, unique personality type who like kind of somehow manages to be sincere, caring, and almost somber at times. In the past.
Oh no, it's still, I think.
And then one of the most hilarious, well-timed sense of humor that we could find. And then you do something. I just feel like you're very subtly stated in everything.
Yeah.
So like your personality, everything about you, it's like all of a sudden it's going to destroy the room in humor. But also like all of a sudden you plug in for the first time for everybody here and you created a super, super cool loop that like I know was spontaneous, but also sounded had many layers. Was not, and to no discredit, was not like ambient things going on top of each other, but was rhythmic, was this thing, was bass, was...
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, I feel like it fits perfectly with kind of who you are, and that you just sort of walk in, do your thing, drop it, and like walk away and leave everybody sort of laughing or in shock.
I feel like with that sort of thing, you think that, at least I go into that, you're depressive, or you're thinking that my behavior as a person is not consistent. Like that's how you feel about yourself maybe. Then you listen to your own recordings or talk to other people and you realize of like, oh no, there's a trail of its own little bizarre consistency. Maybe it's not something you can analyze at the time, and maybe that's just based on, saying being present sounds really lame. But if like you're just trying to not think about it too much. But there is always there's always a through line through things more than you realize. Even of maturing and growing and turning into a different person, or feel like being shaped by a lot of people that are filming us now, including yourself. Because I feel like I've only been able to do certain things musically or whatever just from who I have played with and who I've talked to. So I've always tried to absorb things or really look on to what other people have done. And just one of my favorite things about even of touring is the comfort of listening to your friends' music and other things your friends have played on. Because like you can listen to that stuff at home, but then when you get back and you listen to something like, a Gentle Ghost or like a Cherry Death or these things, you're like, I'm just really blown away by my friends. And then it makes you want to do better, and then you're building up somebody's brain or somebody's mind in your own of what they're thinking about it or their own capabilities. But ultimately, I feel like it gets you to this point where you're just being inspired by people constantly and wanting to change and be better and be more persistent, or be more individual in that way.
It's easy to assume how those people are doing something that you think is great.
Exactly.
But like they are probably going through similar tumult.
Yeah, because everybody,
in order to get there.
They have to be a happier person than me because of these things. But
Yeah,
it's like
they
everybody.
got it figured out.
Exactly.
They
but everybody
completed an idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But everybody cycles through happiness and misery at the same. I think everybody's more connected mentally in that way than you realize. Even if somebody you don't like abjectly talk to or anything like that often, you're normally on the same playing field in that way.
Yeah.
How that applies to other things, I don't know. But I feel like everything connects in its own way.
Yeah, I don't really know how to throw it back to pedals and stuff. But
you just see other friends. You see, Andy play something. You see Joey playing loops. It makes you just think about it differently, and it inspires you in these subtle ways. I think you're always inspired by everything more than you realize.
Yeah.
Because like in this way, it's like you play something, and then everything it's coming through this, and then it's all intuitive, and then you're just playing off of each other. So that's why I feel like the foundational thing is always important. But normally in that way, with like the lips, for instance, is like somebody plays something foundational, like a bass part or a drum, and then it just activates everybody else's brain to play on top of that, which I feel like is just like a loop in that way entirely, So, but then every moment, I mean, I'll hear Derek that he does things that really inspire me. Matt and Nick, even Wayne and incredibly Steven, they just do stuff that you're like, well, that really surprised me, and it makes you want to. You can play things in the similar ballpark and also really explore said ballpark,
Yeah, with your own little spin on it.
Exactly, yeah, because it makes it more interesting because if everybody's hearing the same crap every night anyways, in the band, you want to hear these little bizarre freak moments and stuff. It makes it more interesting and fun.
You kind of light up.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
Something like that.
Even if it's just chaos or something goes wrong, you're like, oh, okay, cool. Everybody's like, you're exhilarated and moving forward.
Yeah, that's fun.
But yeah.
Cool, man. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you, man.
Coffee and Riffs.
Float.
Yeah. The thing. The thing.
There's graham cracker crust in this?
An extract that tastes like it, which in the smoothie things, that makes sense.
That's true.
There's a lot of pie-based.
My mother-in-law
smoothie
really
ones.
likes those. I've come to find out.
I did
You
used to like them.
Too much.
I liked them too much.
That'll happen. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look so. Looks kind of weird when you got like a bright raspberry-looking vomit.
Say smile. Raspberry looking smile.
What is that?
Kool-Aid lips.
Oh, I don't know.
You're like a kid and drink red Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah.
On the side of your mouth like that.
Yeah. Yeah, after you puke, and it just gets stuck in your beard.